Welcome to the very first Living Theosophy broadcast from Happs. I have no idea if we're feeding over to YouTube. I don't know. I know the Happs crew are working on it. I'm gonna, nope, that's not it. Let's take a look. I've never gone live on here, so I don't know where your comments would be if anybody is going to be here. It says, I'm multicasting. I'm live on YouTube. No way. Happs, go Happs, go Happs. Hi, YouTube. I wasn't expecting you to be here. Welcome. This is a multicasting platform called Happs. It's called Happs.tv. And what this does is this will multicast you to your Twitter, your Periscope, if you wish. A lot of people don't remember what that is. Hi there. Hi from YouTube. Doe, I'm doing something. You weren't supposed to be over here. What are you doing? She just had a launch. If you don't know who Doe is, if you're watching this rewatch, for some reason, this is my first one here. For some reason, I am just deciding to do this. But Doe has just launched on her YouTube channel her What She Got for Christmas broadcast. And that's where I thought you would be. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I just came on just to talk about theosophy. And I know what happens when we get together, Doe. But brand new content from Doe. And she's amazing, and I love her very much. Doe, I don't know what I'm doing because I did say go live to Instagram too, so I'm going to pop over there and see if anything is happening. There was Doe's broadcast there. Can you see that? There you go. Let me see. Where's my camera? There you go. Oh, my God. I still don't. Is the camera there or there? It's there. Oh, for God's sakes. Never mind. Anyway, vegan Doe / Doe darling, I love you. I love you. I'm just going to try to just see what happens. I'm going to stretch some living theosophy muscles. Dear God, let's go over to YouTube and see what's happening. If anybody is here from YouTube, this is a, oh my God, there I am. Hi there, welcome. YouTube. Oh, she'd come in and quietly watch. Well, I do need to behave myself over here. This is an actual living theosophy broadcast. But what happened is over on Periscope, 100 years ago, I started to do just theosophical content, and that became like a peek into our lives. So if you'd like to see what takes place when I'm not doing theosophical stuff, you're welcome to pop over to the Happs TV and Kelly channel. And I don't mention my name over here much at all. But it looks like 3 people are watching from YouTube. Hello, YouTube. This is a new platform called, it's called Happs TV, HAPPS.TV. And apparently it is working. What? Okay. There. Can you see yourself? I have this new camera too. Okay, finger is not there. It's there. We got a delay. Apologize. I might even delete this. There. Okay. See, we're on YouTube. So that's good. That means Happs has ironed out the wrinkles there. I was just going to do an introduction. I haven't slept much. So I'm a little bit delirious. And I thought, oh, usually I prepare stuff. Oh my God, there. Is that, who's that? Is that Danny? Daniel and Doe. Okay, this is an actual living theosophy broadcast, YouTube. These two are some of my favorite people in the world, and I met them through live streaming. And I started the Living Theosophy channel on Periscope, and it slowly descended into silliness and all that. And so that's called the Happs TV and Kelly channel, if you'd like to follow that. Thank you very much, Danny, for my very first Living Theosophy award. I think, Danny, did you win the lottery? You were so sweet out there, and now you've given me over $1 today. I appreciate that. Hello from London. I love you. Do you have to pick London as your nearest city? They don't have 123 Butthurt Street on there? Oh, no, it's already happening. Let's go over to Instagram and see what's happening. See if anybody is connected over there. I have no idea. If it is, I apologize that this is so haphazard. But this is the way you learn. You just jump in and you just go. So let's see. How would I check to see if I'm live over there? I don't see it. I don't see anything on Instagram, so maybe Instagram is not connected. But for those of you who are here, regular friends, welcome to you. This is my desktop setup. And I was just going to talk about theosophy, but I can barely speak today. I had a meeting that was canceled, and I thought I need to set up the Living Theosophy Happs. And I haven't gotten around to it, so I thought I might as well go ahead and do it. I have no guests. It is only you and I. I also don't know how the comments get out, or sorry, not the comments, the content gets out into the world if you don't have a lot of followers on here on the Happs site, but perhaps YouTube We might be able to see some comments. I think Doe watching from YouTube? Hello on YouTube. Happs isn't connected on Instagram yet. They said they're working on. Okay, well, I invited Instagram, so that's fine. Welcome everybody and no one to this broadcast. Doe and Danny are here. They are my beloved, cherished friends from Periscope, which is going, well, it's going to go night-night. It served its time. Periscope is a live streaming app that was Twitter's baby. And that's how we met. So I feel like I know them, even though I've never met them. I believe that live streaming is the future. It is the future. And this is the way we're going to be able to connect with each other, not just on Zooms, but anybody and everybody who has something that they're passionate about. What are you passionate about? What is it that you want to do in this world? You can do it from your telephone. You can do it from your phone. You can broadcast to the world. You have your own little audience that you interact with, people of like-minded, or if they're not like-minded, they can become like-minded perhaps. Or you can learn new things and just follow other broadcasters. So this is my very first, like I said, Living Theosophy broadcast. I'm not sure. Hi there. Wait, is that, hi there. Oh, I have met you. I have met you. I actually did meet Danny in person, and thank you to Periscope for that. And thank you, Danny, for the gift there. Is that GNC? Hi there, GNC. The comments aren't as big as I was hoping they would be. Is there a way for me to make them bigger? I don't know. Anyway, I was going to tell my little story. I don't know if I've done this in a while. I've had guests on the Living Theosophy YouTube channel. I've read books. I've given book studies. I've shared my experience with these ancient teachings. And that's what I'm going to try to do here on the Living Theosophy Happs Married to YouTube channel. So if you're watching from YouTube, I should be able to see a red line next to you. And I appreciate you being here. And this is a maiden voyage to see how these all interconnect. So once again, you're watching on a platform that's tying all of the live broadcasting together, which is a brilliant idea. You can even feed to your Facebook if you wish, but I wasn't sure how to do that. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay. How did it all start? Why am I even living Theosophy? What is living Theosophy? Danny loves the intro to this, but I'm going to skip that because I'll save that for the other channel. It all started with this book. It's actually this book. Where's this camera on there? There you go. Wait a minute. And there. See it? The Advanced Course of Yogi Philosophy and Oriental Occultism. This book, this is what started all of it. And I found this book in 2004. It was 2004. And it was at a place called the Bodhi Tree in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica. It's now closed down. But it was a very popular metaphysical bookstore. Danny Bruno has just subscribed. Thank you for being the first subscriber, Danny, to the Happs channel. There might be people on YouTube that are very confused as to why I don't have a guest, why we're free. What's the word I want to say? Free-forming. This is a free-form broadcast. And just to get my toes wet in doing this so I can tie it all together. Okay, I'm a former radio and television broadcaster from California. I grew up in San Luis Obispo, California. I did radio there for years. Then I moved to Bakersfield, California. I did radio there for years and some television as well. Did some TV in San Luis. My first TV commercial was in San Luis Obispo. I also was a tour guide at Universal Studios. I did stand-up comedy for a very short period of time when I was 19. I was a tour guide for the state of California, Hearst San Simeon State Historical Monument. Interesting in showing up on YouTube. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. That's good. Thank you. I had no idea how it works. So if you are watching on YouTube, this is a new way of connecting all of the live broadcasts. I should go live on YouTube more. And we have been having Sunday Night Lives. We will have more Sunday Night Lives coming up. More Petra Meyer. Let's see another notification. There's a few of you there. I'm going to go ahead and check out and see what's happening. Let's see how long the delay is on YouTube. I just see my face. I'm in portrait mode. And I see, let's click it. Let's see what happens. So you can see that Danny subscribed. We're just learning how it works. I cannot click it. It won't let me. Oh, it's taking me to YouTube now. Dear God. I'm going to go ahead and check out. And it's really close on my face. It's so close on my face. It's so close on my face. And I see. I'm supposed to be in portrait mode. And I see a very small me on this screen, but there's a very large screen of me here. I apologize for that. So I'm going to turn that down. I'll actually use that as a little monitor like it was back in the day. Did live television, had my baby on television. It's on YouTube, not on this channel, not on the Living Theosophy Periscope channel, YouTube channel. It's weird. I can't, Happs YouTube is here today. But I'm wondering how I could, looks like they've made a portrait. Hi there, YouTube, 5 of you there. We're trying out a new platform. This is called Happs TV. And Happs TV is now feeding to you through them. And you're welcome to pop over and investigate it. It is the power of, hang on, the network of now. It's called the network of now is what Happs is. And it is a live streaming platform that I believe will help connect the world, because many have popped up. You have Facebook Live, you have YouTube Live, you have Twitter Live, but Happs connects them all. And that's why I've chosen this one. Why is it so close to my face on YouTube? It's really close. It's really close. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I am a former radio and television broadcaster. That's usually how I introduce myself. I don't introduce myself by name over here because it isn't important as much of who I am and what I do than what I say. And I'm just a voice for the ancient teachings. There's a long lag on YouTube, by the way. And I can see Joe is over there. There's a few of you here. If you are watching from YouTube, please drop a comment. I'll be able to see you in the Happs app, HAPPS.tv. I also, was it 18 and a half years ago, I got sober as well. So I did the circuit for the recovery speaking for many years after that. And I found that sometimes a face plant from 30,000 feet is necessary to wake one up. And why is it that we drink and use? Well, it's simply to feel better or to feel nothing at all, just for a moment, because there is a lot of suffering in this world. And this is a very painful place to be. And so what am I doing here on Living Theosophy? I am here to hopefully share these teachings with you, my experience with them. I'm not a teacher, I'm a student. And if I share them with you, perhaps they might resonate with you, and maybe you too can apply them and they will help you as well. Because when I was coming out of the crash and burn, I don't know if I've talked about this on the Living Theosophy channel, but I will now. I might have a long time ago. My crash and burn in 2002, in June, on the 3rd of 2002, I crashed and burned so hard that I had 2 felonies. I think might have even had 3 on the horizon there, but I had lost everything. I was homeless. I drank simply to fix everything, and it only made things worse. We have a comment here coming in. Let's take a look. Hi there. So excited to learn about Happs. Oh, good. Amy, welcome. Yes, this is a new platform. I will interrupt my little, whatever this is. Is it a diatribe? It's really close on YouTube. It's like this close. This close on YouTube. My face. Okay. Yes. Happs is a, nope. This is whoa there. We've detected that in my browser. Okay. It says, I'm getting a warning from Happs that something is too exciting for them. Could be the close-up. Anyway, yes, this is a live streaming platform that I believe will change the future. And I'm getting notifications from other places. This is not a Living Theosophy Live. We will have more. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting Eddie Villamoria will be a new broadcaster. I'm not a new broadcaster. I'm reading and talking a new guest here on the Sunday Night Lives. This is not a Sunday Night Live. I'm literally going to tell you a little bit about my story and why this channel even exists and how it came to be, and then what's happened from there. So while we're doing that, I'm just getting my Happs feet wet. I wonder if I should have chosen landscape. What if I should choose landscape? Go out and come back in. Should I do that? I'm not sure. Then people will be notified, and that's not necessary. Okay. Anyway, yeah, in 2002, I lost everything. I was homeless, and I was smoking crack on the street, and I had nothing, absolutely nothing. I was wanting to die. I literally wanted to die. And I'm very glad that I didn't, because I would have missed all this. Oh, thank you very much. I don't know, the close-up is really close. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so that was a big wake-up call. I was able to, it looks okay there, does it? Okay, on Happs, I see me long, tall. But anyway, It doesn't really matter. During my life, what? Wait a minute, you knew that. You knew that, Danny, surely. Anyway, yeah, so usually what I've found when have come across anybody who is struggling with addiction or using any substance to fill that void, what we call in Buddhism, the hungry ghost, is a good way to describe it, a hungry ghost. There's never going to be enough that's going to be able to solve. You didn't know about the crack. Well, I figured living Theosophy would be the best place to share that, right? Well, that's the thing, is that I'm tired of kind of waiting to just do this gently. I figured I'm going to come out both guns blazing and just put it all out there, because if I'm going to tie these platforms together, I might as well be, thank you, sweetie. Thank you for that. I might as well just be completely honest with you, completely honest, and describe to you why these teachings mean something to me. And rather than it just be a word, what is Theosophy? We can start there, and I'll go back to the addiction again, which I think is very important, because addiction is rampant. And it could be a shopping addiction. It could be addiction to another human being. That is a very real thing. It could be the belief that that person, once you are with that person, they will complete you. And that's not the case. You are complete as you are. And what you are looking for is simply to fill the void that's inside of you, that can be filled with what you have already, closer than your own breath. You already have it, but you're looking for it outside yourself. So what was I going to talk about? Crap. I forgot. I went off on this little tangent, and then I said I'd come back to the addiction, and I forgot. That's okay. It's really close. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, addiction. Yes. The hungry ghost. I wasn't always like that. I was always looking. I think I would say, growing up Catholic, I went through the tradition, and I went to Catholic school. And I will tell you that the girls who went to Catholic school, being one of them, that even though we were supposed to be the most well-behaved, we were the least well-behaved, because we were told we couldn't do it. So we went out and did it, usually earlier than the public school girls did. So, but then we would also go to church all the time. And it was actually a church school that I went to. And, well, I was waiting for, okay, and then what? And then what? Okay, so you put the money in the basket, you do these little prayers, you say these things, you do the ceremonies, and where's what we're talking about? Oh, well, it just is that way. It just is that way. And I thought, well, what do you mean it is that way? I have no personal experience with what it is you're talking about. It's kind of like this opaque thing that you're talking about that applies to somebody else from a long time ago, and about a supernatural superhero that's supposed to descend from the sky. And I don't really know if I believe that. And so I started looking in my teens. I started looking in the New Age movement, which is actually paraphrased from, should I raise the camera? Which actually paraphrased from these teachings, these ancient teachings of Theosophy. Let's see if that's any better. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, they are paraphrased from these teachings. They were cherry-picked from the New Age movement, the New Thought movement that came out at the end of the 19th century. And these books have been coming through, these texts have been coming through for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I apologize, I can't speak very well because I'm exhausted. I haven't been able to sleep the last few nights. But it's okay. I'm figuring I might as well just do this. And I thought, should I do this when I feel tired? Yes. Should you jump in when it's deep and you don't know what's going to happen? Yes, you should try. You should always try, because if you don't try, you'll never know. So anyway, growing up Catholic, I didn't really talk about this much, but maybe I can here. I don't know. My childhood was very, like many childhoods, tumultuous, unpredictable, lots of abandonment, lots of upheaval. But that doesn't give me any right to behave in any other way. But it does help me with my empathic nature. Understand. I came through as an empath. I believe I was born an empath, but I also understand that everybody has a story, and there's a reason why people behave the way that they behave. And so everything was exactly the way it was supposed to be, but it was not a perfect childhood by any means. I wonder if I could share this. Maybe I should. There's a few of you here. I hope you get some good sleep. Oh, thank you, honey. Yeah, I'm really, really delirious, tired, but yeah, maybe I could. because maybe you might relate to it. And maybe it wouldn't just be this talking head that is always here talking about the application of these teachings. And it seems like this perfect world and this beautiful home, because it is way more than that. This is a journey of journeys, and all of us are on the same path. We're at just different places on the path. So yes, when I was younger, I was, well, how do you say this? There are no winners in a custody battle. The ultimate winner would be peaceful parents, but that is not what took place. There was times that I was taken and I had to live by a different name and not speak to the other parent. And there was lots of marriages between them with other people. There was disappearing from them. And I kind of was on my own after maybe 15-ish. Really, more than that. I kind of raised myself in a way. And yeah, I made lots and lots and lots of mistakes. I've made some mistakes for you. If I can share any of my experience with you and it helps you, then good. But I did lots of stupid things. And I say this on my broadcasts often. I say, doesn't it take somebody being young and stupid to become old and wise? And I still do many stupid things. But there was a lot of pain and trauma and alone time as this little girl. And sometimes when I go for walks with her, I take that little girl out on the walks with me that I take you out on those beautiful walks along the sea. I imagine this little girl and I take her with me and I show up for her. And I say, you know what, it's going to be okay. And everything that is taking place for a reason. And you're going to be fine, and just hold on tight. But until I got to that part where I could actually take care of myself, I would, as soon as I could, self-medicate. And going out with my friends at 15, you know, they would have a few wine coolers, and I was always the one who got completely blasted. I mean, blasted. Does that mean something different here in England? Probably. Anyway, I'm telling a lot of personal stuff, though I don't usually say this on the Living Theosophy channel, but I think I probably should. And I don't know why. It could be because I'm really tired, and maybe I'll change my mind and take this broadcast down, or maybe I'll leave it up because nothing happens by accident. There are no coincidences in life. So going out, yeah, if some was good, then a whole bunch must be really great. And so I kind of lived my life like that. And it was always like, I was not worried. Like my son is at 22 almost, he's very grounded. He pays his car payment and tucks the receipt in a little box. And I was like, whatever, let's just go. And it was on fire 24/7, 365, became a tour guide at Universal Studios. And that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun there, but all of us were A+ personalities. We all wanted to be movie stars. And some actually went off to do some amazing things. Some are casting directors and some have gone into the industry and they're very successful. Some went off to become disc jockeys. I did. And then when I got into the rock and roll world, alcohol and drugs and sex and all that, that was, I talk about that a little bit in some of the old videos here on this channel about alcohol and drugs and sex. Because if some was good, then a whole bunch must be really great. And you couldn't be backstage with Aerosmith without cocaine raining down on you like snow. Was not supposed to be. I was not supposed to be sharing this. No, I know. I was thinking about that. Don't get me started on this channel. Okay. It's just showing a little cutoff of me here, but there's 7 of you here. I know. I don't know why I chose to do it on this channel, but I think it's important that you know a little of the history of this person who's talking with you, at you, about these teachings. Because, yes. Okay, so looking in Catholicism, looking to find what it is they're talking about, that seemed to be just a statue. There didn't seem to be more than that, than the Stations of the Cross. The stories were beautiful. I was in Godspell. I loved that musical. I was in that twice. Jesus Christ Superstar, absolutely loved that. Know every word to that musical. That was my very first album. I loved what they were talking about, but I didn't understand where the source was. So through this journey, through this catapult into public speaking and entertainment, I was always looking to find the answer to what I was looking for. I didn't know what it was. And so I went into the Wayne Dyer books, Hay House, of course, farming all of these New Age speakers. And what they're doing is they're regurgitating these teachings that are in these ancient texts. So it isn't just this text. It isn't just this text. It's all of them. So you're going back. So you hear me always say Paracelsus. I always say Pythagoras. Often the Alexandrian philosophers, alchemy. You can go into esoteric Buddhism. You can go all the way back to some of the spiritualism, you know, that came through the spiritualists, the table rapping, all that kind of stuff. Divination. You can go all the way back to the Kabbalah, the Jewish mysticism. Love that. All of it's talking about the same thing really, really quick. So I'm looking in this is not really quick. Who am I fooling? I'm sleepy and I'm wanting to share with you, and it's Talking Head on YouTube. And you guys are getting way more information than I normally give. But I think it's essential because the title of this channel is called Living Theosophy. And so why am I doing that when I'm sitting in this house just talking to you about the teachings? Am I really living it? We're getting to that. I'm giving you a very edited version. So in the rock and roll world, you had short skirts, leather jackets, flask of Jack Daniels, all that, you name it. And it was anything and everything and everybody. And it was an amazing lifestyle for a while. But I, again, was one that was, if some was good, then a whole bunch must be really great. And I keep saying that because that's how it is. They say one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. But yeah, so my numbing, because there was a lot of, I guess, unresolved pain, perhaps. We all have that. We all have struggles that we deal with, and looking for that in relationships. And my picker is broken. I choose interesting partners. And anyway, I always thought once I have that, then that's where I'll find my happiness. We always think that once we have that job, once we have that house paid off, once we have a successful YouTube channel, we'll be happy. But that's not what's going to create happiness. Happiness is not an outcome. Happiness is a choice. Yes, you can ask a question, Daniel, as long as you're behaving yourself. Is that blue picture that you always use on? Yes, it's a purple photo. I'm glad that you asked that question. That is a photo that I cannot explain. But that photo came through when I was voicing the teachings that are in this book. That photo was taken by Mr. S. Christopher when I was voicing this book. It's on the Living Theosophy YouTube channel. And he was doing some experimental photography in water with laser pens, cat laser pens. And he was doing it in a fish tank. And that's where I get a lot of those images that you see with the memes on the Living Theosophy platforms. And that one showed up, that one. And I believe that it has to do with the work that I'm doing here. Other than that, I cannot explain it. I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. But it is a very important picture. And sometimes that picture is the only picture that keeps me going. Sometimes I go, what am I doing? I don't make any money doing this. Why am I putting... why is every day that I am alive broadcasting and sharing these teachings with people that I don't even know if they're going to get it or not? I can't explain the urge that comes to get to work. It's a very important one. So that photo came in when I was voicing the audiobook for the advanced course in something's yelling at me. Hang on. The advanced course in yogi philosophy and Oriental occultism. And that photo is I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It was an astral photo from what I get when I look at it. I don't know. It's so important to stand in your truth with love and compassion for yourself. And that's what I hear when you speak. Thank you. Oh, I love you, Amy. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm sharing a lot more than I planned to. And I had a meeting scheduled this afternoon that was canceled. And I thought, well, let's just go. Yes, it was not after a bad night, actually. It's a beautiful photo that I cannot explain, of a bearded somebody. I don't know what it is. I think I looked at it when he showed it to me, and I said, it looks like Jesus in a hat. And I have no idea what it is. I'm hoping that one day I'll find out. So anyway, I've used it as the logo for Living Theosophy for as long as I've been doing that. And you're a pillar of strength of light, especially those needing encouragement, that there certainly is another way. there is another way to live. So let me close this. Hang on one second. Thank you for that, Amy. Thank you for being here. There's a few of you watching from Living Theosophy wondering what is going on. We're doing a Happs broadcast. I didn't know that the YouTube link would work. This is called Happs TV, HAPPS.TV, and it is a multicasting device. Why is it so close? Is it that close on your YouTube? Let me turn it sideways. Is that any better? No. Okay. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't really have much family life. There wasn't really a lot. I couldn't even really return home. I wasn't even, because I guess I can say it now. My father had married a woman that didn't want anything to do with his past. So there was nowhere to go. So I just had to go into the world. So off I went, and I went with a bang. And I made wonderful friends. I've always had the wealth of amazing friends, beautiful people that I could call family, that I feel are my family. But relationships, not so much. I kind of picked, I don't know why. I think that's perhaps nothing happens by accident. There's lessons to learn. And if you want to learn more about karma and reincarnation, it's all talked about in Theosophy. Anyway, let's go further into radio. And I remember wanting desperately to find out more. And it seemed to be in the New Age movement. But then I saw a lot of New Age gurus showing up, talking about how great they were, and they were the ones to dole out the teachings, which is the same thing the churches were doing. And I thought that was just BS. I just didn't buy that. I was terribly sorry. I wasn't going to follow a cult. I'm not into that. What I was into was finding out what they were talking about. Same way I was with the churches. And in Theosophy, you hear me say, in Living Theosophy, you hear me say that this is the commonality of all the world's religions, sciences, and philosophies. This is the ancient divine science and divine fact. It's divine truth. It's divine knowledge based on fact, not faith, not, oh, I hope so, but it's actual application. Okay. I didn't know that yet. I didn't learn about Theosophy till I found that book in Santa Monica at the Bodhi Tree in 2004. I was 2 years sober. I was there for sandalwood incense. And I found this book that seemed to make it across the Atlantic with me and has changed my life. So anyway, I'm in the radio world, living the rock and roll lifestyle, going out till like 3 a.m, and then having to be on the air at 6, and living that kind of a, self-destructive lifestyle. But I still was looking. And I remember I went to go study transcendental meditation because I heard that had benefits. And I can remember going to the fellow that I was going to study transcendental meditation, which cost $1,000 to study in 1996. And I was like, I'm going to have to make payments on this. This is a really big deal. I really want what this has to offer. But he said, when I went in there, he said, you can't have had any caffeine, any alcohol, any cocaine, any, what else was it? I just remember those 3 because those were the 3 that I had done. And he said, in the last 24 hours, otherwise this won't work. And I went, oh, well, okay. So I just checked the box. No. No, you can pull the screen down and see a longer view. Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Amy. So it's not like this, because my view is showing me this. Anyway, so I went to take the transcendental meditation class, and I was waiting for this euphoric delivery of, thank God I've paid this $1,000 now, and I'll be able to access this higher truth. And he gave me a mantra, and I was there to quiet the thoughts. And of course, I had a million thoughts about how come I couldn't quiet the thoughts. And I was like, that's it? But wait a minute. I thought this was where you go. It's not a destination. It's actually finding a space between the thoughts. You don't have to pay $1,000 for it. Meditation is literally a time for you to quiet your own thoughts, because the chattering of the skull, that constant voice inside of you that's saying, oh, I'm worried about how are we going to pay this? Oh, don't watch the news because this is happening. Oh, so-and-so doesn't like me, or I need to, do this, or I have forgotten that, and da 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 da. It's going into the space in between those thoughts, finding the silence just for a moment. And sometimes you'll have really euphoric moments. And sometimes you'll have, this isn't working at all. What am I even doing? And you just try again. You just try again. So anyway, that was in 1996. Now remember, I didn't get sober till 2002. And I apologize. I am very sleepy. I have only gotten maybe 6 hours sleep in the last 2 nights. Cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. And that is it's really frustrating. But I figured instead of going into the problem, I'll just go in and just live the day as if I did get sleep. Okay, somebody is liking this on Twitter. Are we live on Twitter? Oh my God, I forgot to check Twitter. Hi, Twitter. Welcome. Apparently, Happs has got us connected. I have not greeted you appropriately. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hang on one second. I'm going to have to put my glasses on because I don't know who's over there on Twitter. Hang on. It's Sam. Hi, Sam. Sorry, the text is really small over there. This is my first Happs broadcast as Living Theosophy, going out to all of the platforms. And I thought, why not sit down and just tell your story just a little bit so you could maybe show them why it matters to you so much that you share these teachings. And I'm not some teacher. I'm not. I'm actually just a student of Theosophy. And what I do is I share these teachings hoping that maybe they would be for you like they were for me in 2004. That when I found them, finally, I was like, oh my God. But anyway, let's go through to 1996 to 1999. Let's go to 1999. I listened to your audiobook. Yes, I'm just talking about that by William Walker Atkinson and loved it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing so much. You're a light in this world. Indeed, it was that book. That's the book I'm talking about. I did voice it. I voiced the original course on this channel on YouTube. And I must apologize to anybody who's checking that out. Please listen to it at 75% because I voiced it as I would a radio commercial and there are no breaths in it. And it's impossible to take in if you are just listening to it. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you for sharing. I love you. Thank you. So anyway, yes, I didn't voice those until later on in life. But okay, 1999, I'm self-destructing in radio. I'm just literally just nothing but Jack Daniels. And I was really successful in spite of myself, if that means anything. I've had bosses say, you know, you have talent, but you need to really, you got to pull the nose of the plane up because otherwise you're gonna destroy yourself. And I was like, I'm never gonna make it to 30 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I didn't think I'd make it to 30. I thought 30 was ancient, and I thought for sure I'd be dead by then, and it didn't matter. And so in 1998, I found out that a little one was on the way, and I wasn't going to have children. I was not going to have children. I was in a toxic relationship that, of course, you get back together and you think like Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. It was very much like that. They were happening at the same time. And we would break up and get back together just like they did. And it was in a way embarrassing to say that we were together because within a week we'd be apart. And it was just drama. It was just drama and toxic. And whenever we would fight, I would drink thinking that would fix it. I always hoped it to be like it was in the movies, you know, dramatically going over to the table and mixing a little drink and throwing it back, and that would just calm the nerves. Well, it didn't. You know, I broke out in handcuffs, we say. That's an old joke. It's not mine. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, it got really bad. Really, really, really bad. And then a little one came. And I thought, that's impossible. I can't possibly be pregnant. I can't. And I found out I was pregnant. Oh, do I share this? Oh, this is really big. Yeah, well, I might as well. I found out that Alex was coming when I had been arrested and I was taken to the hospital. And I was, the cops were standing at the foot of the bed and they threw the test back at me and said, what a piece of crap I was because I was not taking care of this child. And I was like, what child? What do you mean? And I'll never forget, as I held that in my hand, I saw the little cross that said I was pregnant. I thought, oh my God, it's okay to self-destruct, but it's not okay to self-destruct. But in my mind at that moment, it's okay to self-destruct, but it's not okay to self-destruct this little one who's chosen to come at this time. And from that moment, in 1998, till his birth, I did not take anything. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I made sure that this vessel that he was in was pure as I could. But I didn't have any control over the first 8 weeks, which was much more toxic. There was a lot of fighting with his father, a lot of alcohol. I didn't know if he was going to be healthy. I had no idea. I just knew that he was the love of my life, and I couldn't wait for him to arrive. That birth is actually captured on the Learning Channel's A Baby Story, and it's available on another YouTube channel if you wish to see it. And it's fake because the birth isn't fake, but the relationship between the two of us is completely not what they presented. They needed something really nice and clean and pure and good. And I started to tell this story, and they said, "Oh my God, no, we can't have that. We have to make it look like you're this happy couple." And by the last scene, we had broken up, and we had to act like we were together. And they asked Danny, not Danny Bruno, who's here watching. They asked Danny, what's it like waking up with him at night? And you can see me look at him, and I say, you can see that we're not together, but they had us do that for the cameras. That was at the birth of reality television. And we didn't get paid for that. That was a documentary. And I thought that that would be good for Alex to have captured on screen his birth. So the TV cameras saw him before I did. And there was like 30 people in the room. And it was a very normal thing to do for me, I thought, to have my baby on national television in a way for him to have that moment captured. It was a very beautiful moment. And the moment they set him in my arms, it was like I have loved him for all time. And I was absolutely enamored with Alex. And I thought, this is love like I've never experienced before. And they handed me, yeah, not that, Danny. They handed me a bottle of Vicodin because he was 10 pounds. He was a very big baby. And I thought, well, I'm fine now. I could probably take pain pills, right? So I took some pain pills. And I was not going to breastfeed him if I was taking the pain tablets. So I put him on formula. And I thought, well, the pain tablets became 1, 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8, 8 became 10, 10 became 12, 12 became 30, 30 became 50 a day. These are Vicodin as opiates. I have no idea why I'm telling you this. I have no idea. But I think it's important that you know a little bit of the backstory, because if you know the backstory, then you realize perhaps why these teachings matter and what it was I was looking for all along. And so I had even though I had this beautiful, healthy, amazing young man who needed me, he wasn't a young man at that time, he's a baby, a little guy. He needed his mom. I was still looking for my happiness outside of myself. Welcome to your Twitter if you're watching on Twitter. I am Happsing. I'm over on Happs TV. We are multicasting to YouTube and to you. Finally, you're getting a living Theosophy broadcast and not one of the other ones that were just really just me in between doing theosophical things. If you're just joining this broadcast, I am a former radio and television broadcaster, and I'm just sharing my story today because I'm trying to just get it out there, and I'm using Happs to go ahead and tie the live streaming together. So this is just I literally am flying by the seat of my pants. I have no idea really why I'm telling you this, but I think it's important. So I'm just going to finish the story. So anyway, so 1999, Alex is born, and I hold it together for a while, but the alcohol and the opiates are hovering about, and I'm thinking, I've got it under control. I quit. I totally quit for 9 months, 8 months. It's fine. I can handle it. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't. And slowly it became a nightmare. Actually, a hellish hell that was darker than anything Hollywood could ever come up with. It was horrible. And this little one needed me. Why is Happs yelling at me? I'm getting a little notification that it's using up. I don't know what's happening there. Sorry. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, let's fast forward to when Alex is 3. Alex is 3, the year is 2002. I have managed to lose my jobs. I've managed to self-destruct in magnificent ways. Magnificent in the bad way, meaning awesome, meaning not awesome, but in awestruck ways. He needs me, and I can't hold on. I can't stop the destruction. I can't stop the darkness. I can't. And he ends up staying with his father, and then I end up without a house. I have no home. I am now living out of my car, which is a rented car, because I don't know what happened to the other one. I think it was impounded or something. But anyway, so I'm going from motel to motel while my card works. And I'm just wanting to drink away the pain. I just want to drink until it goes away, but it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But somehow I always managed to find alcohol. I always did. And in June, March, and April, May, I don't even know how much I'm going to go into this because there's so much I could tell you. But anyway, I literally wanted to die. I prayed to die, and I didn't die. And unfortunately, I had a lot of wreckage to answer for. So miraculously, I ended up in rehab in February of 2002. But if you do the math, June is my sobriety date. Yeah. What happened was in March, after I'd been there for like 30 days, all I did, I just wanted to see Alex again. I couldn't live without Alex. I literally could not live without him. I was sure of it. And so I was told by my probation officer, who is now a very good friend of mine, that I was going to go to a Christian camp and I was not going to see Alex for a year. And I thought, well, what have I been doing all this for? What is all this for? There's 11 of you here from YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Totally different content today. I'm actually telling a little bit of my story and why living Theosophy matters to me and why it is even a thing. It is a very big thing. And I put it into application, and it's what I was looking for all along. So I'm kind of telling the backstory here on Happs. And we're talking to, I think we're over on Twitter as well. Hi, Twitter. Okay, so I ended up in rehab, and in March of 2002, my probation officer, who is a felony probation officer, says you are going to a Christian one-year camp and you will never see Alex for a year. And I thought, well, then there's no reason to live. I just immediately heard nothing, and I walked out of his office, and I went to the liquor store after 30 some days of being in rehab, and I got a bottle of, was it 151 Bacardi, and I just set off with my backpack to go walk until I was able to get in front of a car. I wanted to die. I couldn't live without Alex. I was sure of that. So somehow that night I ended up behind a diner somewhere, and my shoe was missing. And anyway, the rehab came to pick me up, and I thought for sure they're going to throw me in prison, because in Kern County it is, with being destroying yourself, self-destruction was a crime. And I had obviously left rehab and drank, and so I was looking at prison, actually. So I opened my eyes to see the people from the rehab were there, and they took me to the doctor, and then they took me back to rehab, and then they said my probation officer was coming, and I was preparing myself to go to prison. And he comes in, and he takes his gun off, and he sets it down. He takes his bulletproof vest off, he sets it down, and he opens up his arms, and he said, my God, Anne. He says, you don't need to fall on your own knife when things don't go your way. You have to be able to survive for Alex. I didn't know that it was this bad. I thought you were just playing me, because I'm used to being lied to. I'm a felony probation officer. He says, so from here on out, from this day forward, that was June 3rd, 2002, you have to fax me if you're going to go to the bathroom. You have to tell me everything, and I'm going to be all over you. And you're going to do this again, and you're going to start it out, and you get to stay where you're at so you can see Alex. But you have to start from scratch. I had nothing, not a dime to my name. I was homeless, and I had a bike. Somehow I was able to get a $20 bike, and I rode my bike to all the meetings I needed to go to. And I ended up getting a job, and I was able to see Alex, and I was able to build my life back up. And I wonder if I should say his name here. But anyway, my probation officer and I have become very good friends. And I slowly began to build my life back up, and I was able to be with Alex again, and eventually get a house. I was back on the radio again. I had to earn my way back up. I was given weekends, and then nights, and then afternoons, and then I became the program director, and then I was thinking clearly, and I could see the gifts that were coming back because I had stopped destroying myself. And I realized that that alcohol and that any intoxicant was simply trying to fill the void that was inside of me that I was desperately, desperately looking for. Perhaps there is something inside us that we do not listen to. The self-destructive behavior is the fix. I think that's a very good point. I think that Earth, as we are talking about in Theosophy, is a very difficult plane to be in. It's a place of great suffering. Hello, hi there. Who just showed up? Hello, hi there. Is that David? Hi, David. Yeah, I'm talking about something I never talk about here, but I think it's time I do, because until now, all you've seen is just this person talking to you about the Theosophical Teachings. I don't share my name. It's not important who I am. I'm a student of Theosophy. For a long time, the Twitter feed, you've been getting my own personal feeds because my Living Theosophy channel has just shown a part of my life, which looks really, really good now. It wasn't always like that. And what you see presented, there's always more to the story. So anyway, yes, so let's go 2002, June, crash and burn, big crash and burn, 2 felonies, now reduced, expunged, dismissed. But I was looking at 3 years in prison. And I managed June 3rd, 2002 to stop taking drugs and stop taking alcohol. And it's been 18 and a half years. So the cops leave me alone. So I had to work my way back up. Every single solitary thing I lost, I had to earn again. I had to earn it back. And my son now has a mother, and he and I have an amazing relationship. But what I almost gave his name. Mr. Pruitt is his name. What my probation officer said to me that day, he said, you must look after yourself, because what if something happens to Alex one day? You'll do this again. And I remember looking at him thinking, what if Alex is injured on his bike or something? Oh, of course, I have to be strong. I had no idea that what Mr. Pruitt was saying was going to happen in 2011. It was bigger than anything I ever could have seen coming, bigger than anything. And I'm very grateful that he was so hard on me and that I had to do everything all over again. I'm grateful that I took it seriously. If he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. I would be dead. I absolutely would be dead, without doubt. Anyway, I didn't bring the plug in here because I wasn't going to talk that long. So I have half my battery left. Anyway, let's move forward to 2004. I'm now back on the radio. I'm paying off all the fines and the fees. I had a DUI. I deserve many more. I had to earn my way back up in the world. And so 2004 rolls around and I'm in Santa Monica and I'm with my friends and I go in to get some incense and I find this book. And for some reason, it's like no other book. It just was just up there, just looked like an old book. But it popped off the shelf. I just popped it out into my hand and I thought, I want this one. So anyway, I never opened it until 2011. In 2011, what happened in 2008 is I met my husband, and he lives in England and I lived in California. And I thought, well, at least I know he exists. And we had this amazing romance. And then it led to a possible international move. Now, how could I take Alex away from his family, his dad? But there's healthcare and there's so many opportunities over here. And his dad really didn't seem to be bothered. So I looked into it and I thought, well, maybe that's the right thing to do. And I would never have left California if I didn't know Alex was coming with me. So what happened was a massive international custody battle that was absolute just bloodshed and torment and horror for Alex. And I thought I was doing what was right. I think his dad thought he was doing what was right, but our little one was caught in the middle. He was 8 at the time, 8 and 9. And so they gave him a year here and he flourished. He did really well. But I could see every time he had to fly back to the United States, he'd fly back to California like he was in a rock band. He was at Heathrow. They knew him by his first name. Every time he flew over, he came back full of our battle and he was full of our damage. And I realized in 2011, with great horror, that one of us was going to have to let go. And it wasn't going to be the other side. And I thought, well, I can't live without Alex. I can't live without Alex. I can't. He's all I've got. He's everything. I can't live without Alex. I can't. I mean, he needs his mother. I can't. That's not an option. But that's what happened. And I was standing in my studio where I was still doing radio for California from the United Kingdom. And I remember that day that I was looking out the window saying, please help me. And I was just bawling. I didn't know what to do. And whatever knowledge came to me that I had to let go, because how else was I going to teach my son about this compassion unless I became that compassion? And I thought, well, sod that. That's for somebody else. I can't live without him. And it was 2011, and I'll never forget the day. I won't ever forget that day. My heart broke into a billion pieces, and I knew I was going to have to send him back. He was going to have to grow up there and choose England out of his own choice, not by my choosing it for him. And always look on the bright side of life. That's right. So all these little TikToks, all these things that I do is living Theosophy. I'm not just talking out my butt. I'm talking because I've lived this, and I'm telling you, this is what I was looking for. I'm giving you a little bit of backstory because a lot of people only see me talking from this beautiful room, and they have no idea that the application of these teachings is what I was looking for all along. It's true. So anyway, yeah, so 2011, I'm getting to the book. 2011, I wrote to Danny, not this Danny that's in here now. I wrote to Danny and I said, look, what he needs is peaceful parents. He can come back and stay, and he can visit. And I cut the visits way down so he wasn't always flying back and forth. And I had to do what I thought would be impossible, is to live without him. Light being amazing. Hang on, I've been through tough times like this, and I thought at the end a real friend called me at his house and gave me a copy of Light on the Path. Yes. Yes. A few months later, you receive a call, Light on the Path. That's what this book was pointing to. It's a tiny book. It's a little tiny book. Well done, you. I'm grateful to have you here. Hi, Akbal. Yeah, I'm doing a different kind of living Theosophy. I don't know why it's so close on my camera, but anyway. So 2011, I couldn't even breathe without it feeling like it was broken glass and sharp razors. I didn't want to live without Alex. I've proven to you what I'd do without him. I can't imagine life without him. But him being 6,000 miles away, regardless of the marriage, I didn't want to live without him. But I had to walk through this heartache. And this was new coming. Yeah, this was the new coming. Yes, this was what was waiting. Because during times of great pain, you'll hear me say this often, pain is the usher of wisdom. This is not my saying. I didn't come up with that. That is ancient, okay? So during this time of great psychological pain, I looked at this book that I never read. And I went, well, I have absolutely nothing to lose. So I opened it. And I went, okay, yoga? The hell's yoga? Yoga means to unite. It's not just the postures. The postures are part of it. But yoga means to unite. Look it up if you don't believe me. We talk about it on this channel. It means to unite the lower self with a higher self, and the practice of doing so. Anyway, I didn't know that at the time. I was like, every page, this book, and this is the advanced course that I got, every page seemed to really make sense. And I thought, what is this? So I read it, and I reread it, and I reread it again. And then I realized that there was an original course. This is a mail-out course that went out in the early part of the 1900s, and it was mailed out to study, and it pointed towards this little theosophical classic called Light on the Path. And I thought, what is that? What are you talking about? Why is everything pointing towards this tiny little, it's like a pamphlet, It's here for you on the Living Theosophy YouTube channel if you're interested in listening to it. I have voiced it for you if you want. Anyway, to listen. Sometimes it's easier to listen than read. And every time I visit it, no matter how tiny it is, I learn something new. So anyway, I thought theosophical. How have I never heard that word before? In all of the New Age exploration, I have never heard the word theosophy before, ever. And I went, what is this theosophical classic? So I got a copy. This is the one that I've published. I republished it, so I had the right to voice it. But you can get a copy. You go to the Living Theosophy Sells bookstore and get a free copy right now if you want. I should have put that link there, but just go to Living Theosophy to the bookshop. Go to free audiobooks, download it. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so as I was in this time of great pain, I could not numb, I could not drink, but I would weep and I would cry and I was devastated. I was broken and I just didn't know what else to do. And I thought, I have nothing to lose. I've lost everything already again. And this time I don't have a chance to escape the pain. So I started to read the books and I started to then apply what they said. And then I realized how valuable these teachings are. And I thought, oh my God, how do I help? How do I help other people who may be able to find these teachings and let this do the same for them? This is not it's been called other things than just Theosophy. Think of the great mysteries or the, the Oracle at Delphi. Man, know thyself, know who you are. And the macrocosm, microcosm, the universe as above, so below, all of those Go back to this ancient teaching that is timeless. It is called Theosophy now. Theos meaning gods or sacred. It's Greek meaning gods, not a god. And Sophia meaning wisdom. It's the wisdom, the ancient sacred wisdom that is available to all. You don't have to join a Theosophical lodge. You don't have to say you're a Theosophist. You can be whatever you want to be. And if you have a compassionate heart and you wish to ease the unnecessary suffering of all beings on this planet, if you wish to make this world a little brighter than it was when you got here, then you qualify. You too. Especially if you're an empath. I always say that on this channel. Oh my God, it's yelling at me again. Hang on. I have no idea how many people are watching. There's a few of you over there on YouTube wondering what the hell's going on. I'm sorry. I don't have a guest today. I'm doing a multicast through Happs TV. So it's feeding to Twitter apparently. And I think it is. I don't know. I'm just trying this because as a former broadcaster, I do have some skills from the olden days, because when we broadcast back in the day, you had a terrestrial stick and then you shot out to maybe 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. You didn't have the entire world at your fingertips like we do now. But I have some skills from those days. So that's why I'm here on the Living Theosophy channel. What I did was I went back in 2014. I thought these are just golden, absolutely golden. So I went to go study at the Theosophical Society in London. I thought, well, this is going to be heaving. You know, everybody's going to know how great this stuff is. Let's get up there, go. So we went to London and I went to the Theosophical Society headquarters and I expected everybody in the universe to be there. And it was completely quiet, with a big, amazing library that nobody was in, with all of these ancient texts there, and no one was there to look at them. And I thought, where is everybody? But I still studied with them. I took their diploma course, then I took the next diploma course, and I was really anxious to learn what was in this book. And then I realized that this is a paraphrase. He's paraphrasing. This is written down by William Walker Atkinson. He's writing under the pen name Yogi Ramacharaka. That's not a real person. Yogi Ramacharaka is a pen name of William Walker Atkinson, who is a New Thought movement author. He's also a lawyer. He wrote under the name The Three Initiates, the Kabbalion. And I know you've heard of that. The Kabbalion was also written through William Walker Atkinson. Anyway, so yeah. So I went back to the studio and I sat down to read this book, to put it up on YouTube. Other people might find it. They're not going to go to that library. Maybe they'll find it on YouTube. So I started a YouTube channel called, what was it? Yogi Philosophy. I just took this name. And I just said, okay, go. Then it became Yogi Theosophy. And then one day when I was rebuilding the website again, which is now still a mausoleum, and it's all money going out. This is all just, I'm going, I don't know, but this is important stuff. We need to do this right. So I had another web designer come in and build another website. And I thought maybe I should say living Theosophy, because if I was to die at this moment, in this time now, if I was to die, I would want to advise everyone to become these teachings, apply them, become them. Some people study them and they become an academic journey of memorization. That's not important. What is important is if you apply them, because through that journey, and I just paraphrased, and I probably shared a little bit too much, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know why I did that today, but I thought it was important to be able to get this out to you, because what is living theosophy? What does that mean? A lot of the stuff on TikTok, people can't say the word theosophy. They don't know what that means. They know theology, the study of gods or a god, but many have come through the millennia. Many of the teachers have come. Their teachings are the same. And the followers tend to, well, we descend into the vices of humanity: selfishness, greed, ignorance, superstition, fear, all that. And then we kind of say, we can, but you can't. And we still divide. Humanity still divides. We're still very selfish. And so what I'm trying to show you is what is a unifying study of these texts. And it doesn't have to be through the Living Theosophy channel. You can just Google it if it means anything to you, if it touches you. And so that's why it's called Living Theosophy. And that's why I think things like Happs TV, which is a live broadcasting platform. I've been doing things. I tried doing Theosophy shorts on Periscope on Instagram. I do Theosophy shorts on TikTok. So I use some of my skills to present, I don't know, a poem from Rumi, one of these quotes. Yesterday's was, what were we talking about yesterday? Hang on, I'm really sleepy. What was it? Oh, the inner voice inside of you. Yeah, the one that tells you you're a piece of crap, but you're still more important than everybody else. That voice is the voice of the lower self. But there's also another voice inside of you, and that is the voice of the silence. And that voice is the one that is your higher self. And everything is explained in these teachings. Everything is explained. And it's not just this. It's far more than this. You'll recognize it. Once you start studying it, you'll recognize it in Socrates. You'll recognize it in many of the Manly P. Hall. I can't say enough good things about Manly P. Hall. He was a 20th century Canadian-American philosopher. Secret Teachings of All Ages, it's all in there too. It's all in there too. So this is not a secret. It doesn't have to be a secret anymore. I will say about The Secret, the movie The Secret that came out in 2006, they commercialized part of the teaching, of the ability of the human being. And the human being has far more capabilities than we know, or we even begin to understand. And they talk about the law of attraction, which of course, materialism, selfishness, that's all about humanity. We're all about that. So they commercialized it, but they're onto something. There's far more to you than just the 5 physical senses. Your thoughts do create your reality, but not so much. I mean, if you want to concentrate on red sports cars, good for you. There's way more to life than that. You know, you can change the trajectory of your life. I just saw something flip up on there. You can change the trajectory of your life because your thoughts and your emotions are literally the rudder and the motor. You are far more powerful than you know, and you're creating this, all of this. This is all a reflection of you. Everything is. So there you go. So anyway, on the Living Theosophy channel, what I'm going to do here is I will come on live here. I think it's really important to do so, because if anybody does have any questions or comments, or if you want to just study together, I don't know really. Ever since that day that I sat down to read the first chapter of the William Walker Atkinson / Yogi Ramacharaka book, I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. And so now there's, I don't know, we have 4,000 some people are here for the audiobook. Some people come for the, I have other folks that study Theosophy, other students of Theosophy. Hey, who just popped on. Hi there. Hi there, Charlie. You missed a really big thing. We're broadcasting from Happs. And I was just going to come on and talk about Theosophy, but something else. I'm a little tired. I haven't slept very well for the last few days. And I just thought I'd sit down and try to tie these live broadcasting platforms in and just be as open and honest as possible, because you don't really know much of my backstory, but I shared it all, and not all of it, a lot of it here on the Happs channel, which is happs.tv, HAPPS.tv. And it is a platform that enables live broadcasters, live streamers to share whatever it is you're passionate about. And I'm passionate about the Theosophical Teachings, not so much for who wrote them down. That's not important. Not so much about me as a fellow student, but introducing them and getting the word Theosophy out there so other people can find the help and the hope that I have found by understanding that what I was looking for inside the church wasn't there. Man was there, doing man's thing, doling out these teachings as they saw fit. You don't need a priest. You don't need a church. Nature is the true church. You are the temple. Everything takes place inside of you. The great battle that is spoken of is not going to be taking place with supernatural beings beyond the clouds of good and evil. When I watch the Marvel comics, this is a TikTok I think I might do. When I watched the Marvel comics, oh God, it was popular when Biden won. What was it? Is it Captain America at the end when he thinks everything's over with, and then all the good people come, all the other heroes come in to save the day? That's your higher and lower self. That's the great battle. You have to overcome you. It's not about what anybody else does. No one else matters. You matter. You become a better person. You conquer your former self. If you can conquer your former self, then you've won. Buddha talks about that all the time. Well, yes, his teachings do. So, yeah, the ultimate battle is with yourself. And then the repeated lifetimes. A lot of people go, well, you know, I don't believe in that. And that's fine. You don't have to. I just know that I do because of my experience. And what I understand, I see this is just a day. This particular lifetime is just a day. When the astronauts went to the moon, and they looked back at the Earth. They said we left as, what did we leave as? We left as technicians. We came back as humanists, or I might be paraphrasing that wrong, but they saw the Earth as one, and it is one. And it is part of an ever-expanding universe, and all of that is talked about in Theosophy. If you'd like to learn more, please watch the videos if you'd like, here or anywhere else. If the word Theosophy ticks a box inside you like it did me, where it's like, what is that? I want to know more. Then you're welcome to. And I don't know who's watching from YouTube. If you're wondering what's happening, I do not have a guest. I am just talking. I'm sharing far more about my own journey than I ever have before, because I think I need to make the best use of this platform. And it says there is, oh, wait, hang on. There's a need to learn how to live in one planet that has billions of people living on it. Billions and growing, yes. We have 8 billion almost. And we are growing, and we need to take care of our home. And by applying compassion and empathy and understanding and unconditional love, and becoming those things, not by saying those people need to be loving to me, then I'll love them. That's the way we've been doing it. By fighting and killing and murdering and torturing over whose God is the most peaceful, we are making a terrible mistake. We need to take a look at what we're doing and who we are and how we are connected from the physical mineral to vegetable, animal, human, astral, all the way up to the very highest high that can't even be explained. We are far more than just a physical body and a single unit. We are far more than that. And so after that, I'm happy to take any questions. I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy. And to welcome Twitter, if you're watching on Twitter, what is this? Why are we coming up on this? This is Happs, and I'm going to use Happs to share these teachings with you, and not share them because I know them. I'm just applying them, and I'm learning as I go. I would highly recommend going, and if you want to listen to Voice of the Silence, you can listen to that. If you want to pick up a copy, they're available on Amazon and stuff like that. But I actually have to buy these from people who, hang on, there you go, that people who have reproduced them. It's not, I have to buy them from somebody who says, oh, we have a copy of it for like 30 quid. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, I rewrote that one. That one is my cover. That's the picture that goes with the purple picture that's on this channel as the logo. So anyway, yeah, it's not about selling the books. It's not about that. It's not about converting anybody. It's about introducing you to yourself. And if you'd like to learn more, you certainly can. So if anybody has anything to say, you're certainly welcome to. Or, oh, let's see. Oh my God, there's that many people watching. Welcome. Welcome to you. Hi there. Yeah, it was an interesting journey we had just. I haven't thought about a lot of those things in a while. Probably really good for me. Where's my cup of tea? I don't have my cup of tea. I brought my tonic water with me. And I always have low-calorie tonic water with me, always. And I usually have that on my interviews and things like that. It is a beautiful little book. It's called Voice of the Silence. And when you silence the voice of the lower self, like we talked about, the one that's always telling you you're a piece of crap, but you're such an important piece of crap, you rise above that one. And you'll hear this one if you get into the space between the thoughts. You don't have to pay £1,000 to transcendental meditation teachers. No one can give this to you. Theosophy cannot be bought. It can't be taught, okay? But it can be earned and it can be learned, and it should be free, always. So there you have it. It was fun. Yep. He says, yep. Thank you, Jean, for being here. So I'm hoping to have some more guests here, but this fleshes things out quite a bit more. I apologize. Again, I haven't been sleeping very well, so I'm a little sleepy. I wasn't going to share all this. I just sat down. I said, no idea what I was going to do. I was just going to try to see if Happs connected, and it did. And I'm grateful for you, and I love you. And if there's anything you wanted to talk about, you're certainly welcome to mention it, or we could close. I'm not sure. I am wondering, it won't turn sideways. How do I get it to turn sideways? 7 of you from YouTube. Hi, YouTubers. How are you? I'm looking at having Eddie Villamoria on. I've invited him. Petra Meyer will be returning. So will Peter Brierly. How do we get that to turn? We can't. No comments, questions from the audience? Anybody? Oh, people are liking this. Thank you for the likes on YouTube. Thank you for the likes here. If you like what you heard, it was a story of much drama, the Shakespeare Festival, self-induced, all of it, almost. It's all how you react to things. You have the control over how you react and how you act and how you respond. You don't have control over anybody else or anything else. And sometimes the hand that you get dealt is a shitty one. Can I say that? Oh, I just did. Sorry. It is. Life isn't fair, but everything happens exactly as it should. It does. And everybody's got a story, so you can never be too kind. So, how long have I talked? Does it say? It says I'm running 2 broadcasts. I don't know. Let's take a look here. Hang on. Is anybody still there? Hang on. Thank you, Aaron. Oh, Aaron's going to be live. Okay. Anyway, all right. Thank you for being here. I love you very much. And I don't really give my name, but you know a little bit of the backstory now and why these teachings mean something to me. Thank you. The super love. Thank you. Hang on. Just a minute. Hang on. Thank you, Charlie. Did you give me a super heart? Is that a super heart from Happs? Is that a super heart from Happs? I think it is. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to make sure. Did you just join Happs? I think you might have just joined Happs. Are you coming in? You're coming in from YouTube, are you not? Thank you for that super heart. That means a lot to me. This should always be free. If you wish to help that way, it's so appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And did you just join Happs? Can you let us know if you just joined Happs to participate in this, or did you come in from YouTube? I don't know. Is everybody quiet? Am I talking to myself? It's fine. But thank you for that super love. I love you. And we'll have more content here on the Living Theosophy channels. I'm going to try to loop them together. There's a push to go ahead and do more, do it differently, not so hesitantly, doing maybe more proactively than I've been doing it. I'm just going to go with the flow. I have no idea. Same thing I said back in the day when I voiced that first chapter as an episode on YouTube. When I voiced it, I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. And it's like years later, and I still don't know what I'm doing, but I know it's important to be done. So I give you all the love in the world. Happy New Year to one and all. Thank you for joining me on this exploratory broadcast. This is the Living Theosophy YouTube channel, the Living Theosophy Twitter, Actual Theosophy now. Sorry about all those other feeds. I was just trying, and that kind of morphed into a daily thing. So I have another Happs channel that covers my life here at Horta's house and walks and things like that. So I think also Instagram might be tied in or not. I don't know. But anyway, it's been lovely spending the afternoon with you. I love you. Is it really after 5? How long have we been on here? Oh my God. All right. I thought it was like 3:30. Anyway, no, I started at 3:30. I need to go to sleep. I love you. Okay, how do I end this broadcast if we're multicasting? Let's see. Hang on. I actually have no idea, so I'm gonna have to read. Hang on. I've never done one from my laptop. I've always done it from the phone. And so it's saying, yeah. Okay, oh my God. Invite people. No, I don't want to do that. Sample image upload. No. End broadcast. There it is. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, I love you. I'll see you later.